Hi, my name's Shane. I use they, them pronouns, and this is the third session in our Fearful Symmetries campaign. The Fearful Symmetries campaign for Trail of Cthulhu by Steve Dempsey. This series was organized as part of the Open Hearth gaming calendar. You can find out more about the Open Hearth at openhearthgaming.com or sign up for a game. Come play with us. Um, uh, Jose, I just want to check. You watched the video from last week, so
I
you
did.
have an idea where we're up to. Cool. Um, So yeah, as we start, most of our characters have been exploring strange events at Gunby Hall in Lincolnshire as they search for a ley line nexus. Um, they have learnt some family secrets of the massing birds, but perhaps more relevantly, they've learnt that the house, the hall, is haunted by strange spirits who whisper about eating human flesh at night, and that Lord Massingbird barely survived some strange events at a dolmen in the woods about 15 years ago. The problem being there does not seem to be a dolmen in the nearby woods. Um, Sybil Carrington, though, has not been seen since the group's initiation ceremony in Oxford went awry, and we're going to find out what's become of Sybil today. So, firstly, I'll just get you all to introduce yourselves and your characters. Stephen, can I start with you this week? Maybe you're frozen.
Uh, I was just opening up my the character keeper here to remind myself what my name is. Um, my character's name, not mine. I'm playing Owen Heath, our uh union man, communist, doer of violence. To add on to what Shane said, I'm technically here investigating a supernatural mystery. I am currently my goal is to find blackmail material in order to gain leverage for the Communist Party. But we'll see how I found. I found out some interesting stuff. Maybe this cannibalism stuff. If it's the case, this might be something.
Yes. Gonna resolve the cannibalism by blackmail. That's a great plan. Thank you. T.
I am playing George Bennett, a research fellow at one of the Oxford colleges. Pick your favorite listener, whichever one you like, that's the one. Who is a little bit of a sad nerd and spent much of last session looking through documents and taking notes. Um, and has some theories about what might be going on, and also has promised the local vicar, I guess, to come back and help him organize his church documents in exchange for the juicy gossip that the previous vicar claimed to have seen the spirit of a young woman who disappeared coming for my notes, I'm not entirely sure if she wanted him to also eat flesh or she was just saying, like, I'm gonna do it. And it's secondhand information anyway, so who can say?
Yeah. Thank you. And Jose.
This is
Hi,
the problem
Mohammed.
with oral histories that George is very familiar with.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jose, and my pronouns are he and him, and I'm playing Sybil Carrington. Her pronouns are she and her. And Sybil is the daughter of an aristocratic family, not an heiress or anything like that. I would say a fifth or a sixth daughter of the House of Carrington. She was trained as a classical violinist. I'm sorry, but her passion really is jazz now, and she is also interested in the occult and has been dabbling for a few years after having kind of an eye-opening experience at a jazz performance in a club in Paris a few years ago. She was present at the initiation with her comrades here, but she disappeared when Jack, who is not here with us today, stepped out and broke the magic circle, and suddenly Sybil disappeared. So she was not with us a last episode, but she may appear yet again today. And we'll see how she copes with her absence.
Yeah, so our regular fourth player Puckett couldn't be here today, as Jose suggested. And Jose, you can refresh all Sybil's abilities if you haven't done
Okay.
that already. Uh, so I think we are going to start with Sybil. So, uh, Sybil, you're not sure how much time has passed since the initiation ceremony, but you come back to consciousness. Um, Maybe the first sensation is just a sort of stiff soreness through your body. You're lying on a hard floor in a cold, dark room. You have experienced some pretty horrifying visions, um, but you have the sensation of being, back in the earth that you're familiar with, even if the cold, dark room is not the ideal place for you to wake up. Um, You can hear the sound of a door. Well, actually, sorry. I'll get you to make a composure test first of all to see how you're coping with the strange experience. So the difficulty is 4. You can put as many points of composure as you want onto the roll, and it's a d6.
Let me just open the dice room one moment.
Sure.
And change my name here to Sybil. And um, and then let me look at the character keeper 1 second to look at my composure.
Mhm.
And my composure, I have some points, I think, in composure. So why don't I add, oops, I forgot to refresh them. There we go. Now I'm going to take them down again. Okay. I'm going to spend a couple of points of composure. So it's 1d6.
Mhm.
1d6 plus 2.
Nice.
So it's
All
a
right. So
5.
you're holding it together. And before you get a chance to, get up or look around or explore, you hear the sound of a door opening and there's some light filtering in. Um, Enough to let you see that this is quite a large space, the room that you're in, and the light and the door are, quite a way at the far end of this large space. Um, you can hear what sounds like footsteps coming down some stairs towards you. What do you do?
So I think Sybil gets up from the floor, and she, although composed, is somewhat fearful because she doesn't know where she's at or what's happened exactly, and she's woken from these kind of terrible, horrific dreams as well. So uh, she does not know who's coming down here. So she's going to attempt to hide somehow, if she can find some furniture to hide behind, something yeah, so that she
Yeah.
can figure out who this person is, where she is, get her bearings before she is revealed.
All right. So you can make a stealth test if you want, or we could just say that it's fictional positioning that you conceal yourself behind something.
Oh, sure. Well, I'll just try to hide anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Normally I would just say make a stealth test, but this is how I'm looking to get you back into the game, so I don't want you to succeed. Uh,
Oh,
and
you
then,
don't want me to succeed.
well, if you succeed too well, you're just going to spend the session hiding in the basement.
Hiding in
Um,
the basement.
so you conceal yourself behind some maybe old furnishings that have been stored in this room. You're starting to think it might be a basement. And even though you've concealed yourself a little, a sort of loud, deep man's voice calls out, "Is someone there?" and starts heading towards the end of the room where you've concealed yourself.
Well, Sybil, realizing that the gig is up, uh, steps out and says, I'm so sorry. I must be lost. Can you
Um,
help me?
as you step out, you can see, the man is close enough to the light that's filtering down from upstairs that you can see he's wearing a butler's uniform. Um,
That puts Sybil at ease because she's used to butlers.
Great.
She knows how to relate to butlers.
Um, and he'll call out, "Madam, you're at Gunby Hall. Uh, are you perhaps associated with Miss Wyberg's party?"
Miss Wyberg, yes. Yes, in fact, I am. I have become separated from my party. Could you help me?
You certainly have become separated, but yes. Come with me, please. Um,
Of course, of course. Please forgive me. I don't know how I wandered down here.
Indeed, madam. So Carlisle the butler will lead you upstairs and around and through to the room where uh, Owen and George have just sat down to lunch. Um, the and I think they can tell you that Jack has overindulged in opium again and will not be joining you. Um,
Indisposed.
and so yeah, George and Owen, Sybil is led into the room by Carlisle the butler. What do you do?
I think George starts to her feet and I want to say she was on the far side of the table, begins to make her way around the table hurriedly and then sort of pauses to see how Sybil's reacting. She's been worried about her.
Mhm. And Sybil's eyes open wide when she sees, I mean, she already had an inkling because the butler told her that Owen and George were here. But there is a relief in her eyes as she sees her friends. And
Sybil, it's
also a
been,
question.
yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I
George.
stand and walk over as well. Well, Miss, I need to check here. Miss Carrington should have a seat. How did you get here?
Oh,
Sybil, it's
thank you.
been the amount of time that it's been a week.
A
Yeah,
week.
so Sybil's been gone for about a week, although she won't know that straight away.
But
Yeah.
now, but did you just
George
say
says
that,
it.
George?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows that now.
Now I know. A week, you say? And she grabs the edge of the chair that Owen offers and sits down on it with a look of astonishment on her face. Yes, it's been some time as she notices that the butler is still here. She says, it's been quite some time since we saw one another, hasn't it? Too long.
The
And then she
butler,
looks at she looks at the butler and she says, might I have a drink of water, sir?
uh, he looks a little aggrieved because it's not really a butler's role to fetch water, but he will. And then he'll say, "If there's nothing else, I have other duties to attend to." Uh, and unless anyone asks him to for anything else, he'll excuse himself.
And
I
then,
will side perhaps and ask, just between us, was there any besides the appearance of our friend, was there anything else noteworthy that you wouldn't want to share with two ladies of the sword in there? I do have one point in working in under the below the stairs now.
Oh yeah. Let
Spent three
me.
XP.
Nice.
Because I do want to know, like, you don't want to disturb the ladies, the high class ladies, um, with any disturbing tales.
Um, so you're asking sort of, has there been anything strange happening lately? Is that the sort of
Yeah,
question?
besides like, or at least anything strange happening. Yeah, like particularly since he found like a woman in the basement.
Um, no, sir. I mean, he's a little rattled by having found a woman in the basement for sure. I was told to expect some unconventional behavior from Miss Weiberg's friends, but I mean, appearing in the basement
Oh,
really is
so your lord does not often have women in his basement. I give him a wink.
certainly not Mr. Heath. Perish the thought.
Oh, of course. I just one knows the secrets, these sorts of things. We always have to make do and keep them take care of them.
Uh, I mean, I can only say that his lordship is profoundly in love with his wife. I can't even imagine. Um, I mean, I suppose I
Uh,
would say that regardless out
Owen
of
will not
loyalty, but
comment given everything going on between his wife and our musician. But
well, okay. With a
oh,
one point in below stairs, maybe
they did strike me as a loving
I think with a point in below stairs, it strikes you that he said that his lordship is in love with his wife, but he strikingly did not say the couple are in love.
pair. Hmm.
Um,
Oh,
and
of course. I quite understand our meaning, sir. You can go about your business. I just want to make sure that I assume you won't spread word, of course, that Miss Carrington was frequents the basements of men. I wouldn't want to ruin her reputation that way.
you can trust my discretion, sir.
All right. That's all I wanted. Like, I'm getting closer to something. Like, we'll see.
All right. And what have George and Sybil been talking about while Owen stepped out with the butler?
What is Sybil wearing?
Well, it'll be the same thing that she was wearing for the initiation ceremony. So ceremonial robes over her clothes.
All right. Um, yeah, I think George will if you're wearing just like a dress under, it will help you out of your robes and uh I guess I think her instinct is to chafe your hands because I feel like she thinks you look cold, and whether or not you do, or whether or not you accept this, is up to Sybil. But she is frowning mightily.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think Sybil accepts that and says, George, is this really Gumby Hall?
It
How did I
is.
come to be here?
And she sighs deeply, and with the air of somebody, telling the surgeon to amputate the limb, says, "Magic, I suppose."
I had some horrible dreams. I'm quite discomfited by them. And last thing I remember, we were in the initiation. Did it all go off all right? Are we initiates?
We are,
Well,
and
some good news then. What
yes,
time of day is it,
yes.
George? What time of day is it? Is it too is it too early for a drink? I think I need something stronger to warm me up than your hands.
And George will say, I don't know what time of day it is. Jade, what time of day is it? She looks
So
out the
it's
window.
lunchtime, so early afternoon. And I mean, apart from everything else, Sybil can also sense the presence of a spirit guide.
Right.
which
Ah, that's
she
right.
may have anticipated as one of the effects of the initiation.
Hmm.
But certainly that's something that you feel as well.
Ah,
All I
perfect.
can
Thank you.
say is I got accused of flirting with the gardener, and Sybil has been here 5 minutes and she is already making her move on George. That's all I'm saying.
She just said that
Um,
George's hands weren't warm enough. I wouldn't say that was flirting. It's more like a rejection.
I read it. I
your
read it
hands are
as
so
like,
cold and clammy.
yeah, yeah, your hands are so cold. I mean, maybe I need something more to
Mm.
warm me up. I don't know.
That's fair. I think regardless of the time, instead of answering your question, George is just going to pour you a drink from the sideboard.
And Sybil, finishes removing the robes, and she's presentable again. She doesn't look like a ghoul in the basement anymore. And
Foreshadowing.
uh-oh, it's just very, very well. And oh my, I think the initiation did take. Is Do you have one of these friends as well? Hello.
Uh, she nods grimly.
Oh, delightful. It hasn't all been for naught then. Those horrific dreams. Oh goodness. And she takes the drink from George and downs it in one shot. And says, "Well, Gumby Hall, of course. This is where we were sent for the next stage. Um,
Indeed.
I don't know
And
how I've
you,
gotten here, but can you catch me up a bit, dear?"
uh, and George, sort of pushes the bottle towards her and says, you may need that after I, tell you what we've discovered so far. And she tells you what's happened, and I don't know that we need to do that in character.
That's cool.
Oh.
That's cool. Yeah, perfect.
So I think Owen, comes back in at this point, unless you were going to go and do something else after speaking to the butler. I
No,
just want
that's it.
to, cool. I'm just going to recap what I think are the main leads. So you're welcome to investigate other things, but I think
Mhm.
it's useful to sort of refresh where we're at. So, oops, what did I just do to my notes? Um, George has the name. So yeah, George has the name of the doctor who signed the death certificate for one of the boys who died the night that Lord Massingbird found the dolmen. Um, and although I didn't remember to say this last week, from looking through the parish records, you'll also have George the names and addresses of the parents of the two boys, Anthony and Felix, who died or disappeared that night. And Jack will have told one or more of you before he vanished that Audrey, Lady Massingbird, believes that her son Reginald has spoken to the spirit in the house, but that he won't tell her what the spirit has said or done or anything like that. You also expect, or at least George expects, your outdoors expert expects, based on the weather and clouds today, that tonight will be a moonless night. And you suspect that whatever strangeness is lurking in the woods is somehow connected to moonless nights. So I think those are the main sort of threads for you to pull on. Of course, Owen is welcome to continue digging for blackmail material. Um, but yeah, you've got kind of the afternoon and evening before nightfall.
Mhm.
I mean, there's cannibals. That feels like prime material for Owen to get something to blackmail this lord with.
And I think what Sybil says after she's had a couple of shots, she says, "Oh dear, a full week. Margaret is going to be apoplectic. If she sent word to Wickham Hall, I'm done for. There must be a phone in this house. This is a house of some means. Perhaps I could call my maid and make sure she hasn't spilled the beans on me." Um, and then she says, "Lincolnshire, Lincolnshire, Gunby Hall. I feel like I've heard tales of this place before. And I think she's going to try to access her knowledge of local folklore
Yeah.
to see if there's anything that she remembers about this place or this area.
Yeah, so absolutely. So the legend of the Massingbird ghost, the servant who was shot by the original, oh sorry, the Lord Massingbird who built the building,
Uh-huh.
built the hall, is said to have shot a servant, and that's quite a famous ghost story. The ghost that
Hmm.
patrols around the pond. Uh,
Hmm.
you've also heard the story of Nanny Rut, which the others heard last week. But given it's more a sort of academic or book learning version, you've heard some slightly different variations. So what we heard last time was essentially this story that Nanny Rut is this creepy witch type figure who lives in the woods and did something terrible to a young woman who'd snuck into the woods at night to meet her boyfriend. You know that earlier versions of the Nanny Rut legend had Nanny Rut as more of a helpful or protective nature spirit. It
Hmm.
seems like somewhere around 100 to 150 years ago, the stories changed and she became more of a sinister figure.
Hmm. Great. Well, I relay those details to my compatriots uh, during my third drink. Too bad Jack's not here to partake. He's already had enough.
I wonder when the rot set in.
It's so often the case that wise healing women are vilified as stories pass from hand to hand. It's always the woman's fault, isn't it, George? We do take the
She
blame for
laughs
all
bitterly.
sorts of bad things.
So, George, that what Sybil has just told you to an extent also matches what you found in the parish records. So,
Mhm.
you've heard that Nanny Rut only became a sinister presence, maybe 150 years ago. And when you looked into disappearances, there have been occasional records of young people vanishing in the woods, but only going back about the same time.
Mhm. Mhm. And we, as characters, because we can tell that something is wrong with the magic that underlies the world. We definitely felt that during our initiation. I think it sounds like Sybil's kind of been swimming in it for a little bit. Um, we have no idea about the origins or nature of that at all, besides what we've experienced, right?
Yeah, just whatever you can glean from the visions that you've had.
Mm, yeah. Well, I think we've got a starting point in that timeline. We don't
Where's
have. Mhm.
where's Jack? Did he not make it? I remember him leading the
Oh,
circle during the initiation.
we came
A little
through
scared.
unscathed.
Of course he did. He is a survivor, that one.
Mm.
Did he make it here?
Yes, he is currently preoccupying the lady of the house.
Oh, naturally. Well, what's our plan, George? I'm sure you have a plan. I'm still getting
Uh,
my head on straight, so I can't think quite clearly just yet.
I think George uh, is a little bit flustered but pleased when Sybil says that and says, well, my hypothesis is that the dolmen is only going to be visible in the dark, a moonless night, which should be tonight. Uh, if we're going to confront whatever is in the woods, I think that's our opportunity. But I'd like to know more first. I think when you're making your call, I think I'd like to talk to Dr. Barton about Anthony's death. Um, See what sort of things happen to those who encounter, well, the thing we're trying to encounter, I suppose.
Do we have any clue as to the location of the ley lines? Do you think it passes through this spot of the dolmen?
Again, a hypothesis, but that's what I'm working on.
Excellent. We have an adventure tonight. Eh, Owen?
It appears that way. Carrington.
So it
Look,
sounds
I'm
like,
talking.
oh, sorry, go
Okay.
on.
I was just gonna ask in character, what leads y'all were interested in following up on. 'Cause I think George is shuffling through her notes, and I think she has just like a piece of paper that says Reginald question mark on it and nothing else. Child, and she is not especially delighted by the thought of talking to a child. Uh,
Oh,
and sort
what?
of,
How old is Reginald?
12.
He's like a 12. Oh, okay. Okay. You just said son. I didn't know if he was an adult son or not. So a child's son. Okay,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
lives here in the
Sorry,
house.
I
Yeah,
guess younger than 12 when I think about the timeline. So yeah, a child.
a child. Okay. I'm happy to talk to the boy. See if he knows anything. Do we think he saw something terrible? I'm asking this also out of character because I don't
So
remember exactly
yeah,
what the
so
story is with Reginald.
the story with Reginald is that his mother told Jack that she thinks that Reginald has
Oh, that he
spoken to the
saw something.
spirit,
Ah, that's right. Okay. Yes.
but that he's been unwilling to tell her or reluctant to tell her for some reason.
I'm happy to talk to the boy.
Owen, what are you thinking of doing?
And let's see, remind me the stories of cannibalism, were they focused on a particular part of the house, or is it just that people are saying that they have dreams of like ghosts talking to them about cannibalism?
So not dreams, but all not a particular part of the house. All through the house, people have reported at night hearing these sort of whispering voices through the floorboards um, on all different floors, talking about cannibalism.
Okay. Oh, let's see here. Is there anything I could invoke here? I guess what I'm doing is I have violence as an investigative ability. I guess I'm looking around the house because this is like violence here is like this is distinct from like intimidation. Intimidation is actually like using is like a personal skill. Violence here is more like your knowledge of how violence works
Mhm.
and of like people's fighting styles and things like and crime scenes and things like that. I think I'm exploring the house more today. Like I was kind of last time I was breaking into the offices and getting documents. I'm now looking, are there any signs that any kind of like violence or like rituals here might have taken place?
Mm.
Like, are there any signs of are there any signs of like that there might be a crime scene somewhere in this house?
Yeah. All right. Cool. So I think that we'll start with George then. So you're going to call on Dr. Barton. Um,
Yep. Yeah, it makes way more sense for her to go to him because she wants his documents to get to his filing cabinet or fingers.
Sorry, I've done something strange to Google Docs and I can't read my own notes. Just bear with me for a sec.
Of course,
I
you're
don't
good.
understand what has happened.
Did you try to put in an image and then move it 2 centimeters? Because you can't be doing that.
No, I've just somehow made it much larger than the space available in my laptop. Anyway,
Ah,
okay. So Dr. Barton will receive you. Maybe a message has been sent ahead from Lord Massingbird to encourage him to help you out.
mm,
Um, he is, a kindly looking retired country doctor. He welcomes you in and asks you, gets you some tea. Um, what brings you to our part of the world?
I'm afraid, not the happiest occasion, but I was wondering what you could tell me about Anthony, the young man who died here years ago.
Hmm. Yeah, that was a terrible tragedy. He, well, I'm not sure how much you know, but he and his friends were lost in the woods overnight. He returned with some severe injuries. Well, not as severe as the young Lord Massingbird's, but um, Anthony's wounds became
Mm.
infected, uh, and he did not recover. He was feverish, incoherent for days. It's a horrible way to see a young man die.
Mm. I I did train briefly as a nurse during the war. Um, you needn't worry about my delicate sensibilities. What what could have caused these wounds, or I suppose Lord Massingbird's if you examined both of them?
Mm.
And I'm spending a point of medicine is how I'm operationalizing that.
Sure. Um, so Anthony's wounds were severe, but not inexplicable. I perhaps a fall, um, an animal attack, even. Um, Lord Massingbird's wounds were much harder for me to understand. I've never really satisfied myself as to what could have caused them. Uh, it appeared as if his young lordship had been deliberately cut open down his left-hand side, a great gaping gash down through skin and muscle all the way to the bone, from his shoulder to his hip. But no, he hadn't been, they weren't bite marks as you might expect from an animal. And the tool that had been used, or whatever it was that cut him open, seemed to have been not a bladed weapon as a human might have used to cut someone open in that fashion, but something blunt and dull. I don't really see that any human could have been strong enough to penetrate so deeply with a tool of that kind. I Perhaps he fell from a high. He climbed a tree and fell and was badly wounded on the way down. But even then, I can't really understand what could have caused the injury. I never expected him to survive.
Forgive me for asking. I realize this is an odd question. Um, were either of the boys missing any flesh?
Missing. Hmm. Uh, Anthony, I believe superficially, but not to any significant extent. I mean, of course, the other boy, Felix, vanished entirely. Uh,
Mm.
Felix had always been troubled. I worry that he might have led his companions into some danger.
When you say troubled,
His mother had consulted me. She was worried. He seemed to become moody and withdrawn, uh, depressed perhaps. Uh, uh, I recommended a well-known London alienist, which is, period psychiatry.
hmm,
Um, a Dr. Kalamov, I believe, did meet with the boy before his disappearance.
George notes that down. Uh, and Anthony or Lord Massingbird, uh, were they also troubled as children, or were they good-humored?
Hmm. I think Will was a somewhat rebellious child, his lordship. It, the death of his elder brothers in the war did hit him hard. Um, Anthony, I mean, it was certainly a difficult time for everyone, but I wouldn't have said he was a particularly troubled boy.
See. And was there anything else that perhaps some detail that seemed irrelevant or just odd and has stuck with you? Is there anything else you can tell me, however small?
Anthony, in the days after he returned from the woods, developed a terrible fear of the dark. He refused to allow us to extinguish the lights to let him rest. He
George
said,
nods.
he said, he kept saying they fear the light, they come in the dark, but he wouldn't explain who this they was.
Hmm. Thank you, Dr. Barton. This has been very helpful. You've given me a lot to think on.
Hmm. All right, so we'll close that scene there. Um,
Yeah.
so Owen, as you roam the house looking for uh, signs of violence or similar, um, I think that you don't really directly find anything like that. But uh, in the house laundry, there's a distinct smell in the basin of kerosene, and it's it seems like quite a lot, as if someone has poured kerosene down the sink. Uh, and I think with your points in, well, I'll let you spend a point in violence if you want some more info.
Yeah, I have the two. I might as well.
Um, you recall that the lamps that you took out into the woods last night were kerosene lamps, and your intuition, which you easily confirm, is that someone has drained the lamps of kerosene so that they won't be useful tonight.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to look for or try and find in the house?
Suppose, given that like the kerosene lamps have been poured out, I am interested if there's like anywhere in the house that more kerosene might be stored so that we could have that supply.
Yeah, there's definitely more kerosene. Like it seems like, nobody was trying to destroy the house stores or anything, but seems specifically to have planned that anyone who tried to use the lamps tonight would find that they ran out much quicker than expected. Mm. So I think we'll leave you there for now and pick up with Sybil speaking to Reginald, maybe in, I don't know, a drawing room or something similar.
I think first we see a short shot of Sybil on the phone with Margaret, and just saying, "Yes, yes, Margaret, you did fine. You did fine. Now just please send me some clothing. I can't wear this frock to dinner tonight. To Gunby Hall. Yes, yes. Send a courier right away." And then she hangs up. And as she's walking away, she thinks, "But wait, I don't have Vesper. I need Vesper. I can't trust some courier. What about you? Could you bring me my violin?"
Oh, interesting. I think that is something that a spirit guide can do. Um, okay, so we're talking about apportation, which is on the spirit guides tab. Uh, the spirit
Application.
trans the spirit transports an item through the spirit world to the medium. The difficulty starts at 4 points and increases
Mhm.
with specificity and emotional weight of an object.
Oh no.
So Vesper
It
is
doesn't get much weightier than this.
One of your pillars.
One of my pillars.
um, and is harder if a person is currently touching or holding it, which I don't think they are. So
Mhm.
I think this might be an 8 point glamour test. I'm saying it increases by 2 for specificity and 2 for emotional weight. Does that
Wow.
sound?
Okay.
So you can choose how many points from your spirit guide's glamour pool you're going to spend, and then you'll be adding those to a d6 roll.
All right. So let me just see. My glamour pool is, I haven't used this before. Okay.
14.
So I have 14. I have a fair amount of glamour. So an 8. Uh, I need Vesper. Um, so why don't I add um and this will renew at some point at the end of our job, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Um uh so why don't I go ahead and add 5? So that put me down to 9. Um and then I roll 1d6. Is that correct?
mhm.
Plus 5. It's an 8.
Nice. Um, yeah. So, I mean, Vesper will be with you suddenly.
Suddenly, the violin just it just
Well,
spontaneously appears in her hands.
yeah, is that what happens? Why don't you tell us
Oh,
what it looks like?
oh no, actually, maybe it would be better if there's a sound of a knock and on wood, and there's like a piece of furniture in the hallway there, maybe even the piece of furniture that the phone is on that has drawers. And she opens the drawer, and there's the violin waiting in the drawer. And she picks it up and she says, "Oh, we are going to be very good friends, you and I. Well done." And then she'll go in search of Reginald.
All right.
I just wanted
Um,
to do something magic.
nice. Um, so yeah, you find Reginald. I mean, he's doing some sort of appropriately Edwardian childish recreation. I'm not quite sure what that looks like. Playing with his blocks or something.
Uh-huh.
Um, um, I don't think he hasn't really met any of you. And he says, "You're one of Daddy's guests, father's guests, I guess he says."
Yes, I am. Are you Reginald?
I am.
You can call me Sybil.
Hello,
Are you
Sybil.
playing with blocks, Reginald?
Yeah, I don't know how old Reginald is. He's playing with something, but yes.
I gotta go with something, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, can I sit with you for a bit and chat?
I suppose.
Well, it looks like you've created a little bit of a building. Is this Gunby Hall?
No, this is the hall that I'm going to build when I'm Lord Massingbird.
Oh, have you named it yet?
Well,
Will it be Reginald Hall?
I think that Gumby Hall was named after the first Lord Massingbird's father. So perhaps I'll name it William Hall.
William Hall. Very dignified.
Hmm.
And who will live in William Hall, do you think? Will it just be you?
Well, I'll have a wife then, of course, and children.
Of course, naturally, naturally. Children as well. Why, you have great ambitions, Reginald. You know, I've heard that there are people that live in this house that we can't always see. Have you ever met anyone like that?
I've never met anyone I can't see. He looks a little
Really?
confused at the suggestion.
Uh-huh. Never a voice. Oh. When I was your age, I had a friend who I couldn't see. I spoke with her often. Um, let's see, what does she say now? Um, I think she's going to try to no, that's mechanical. Let me see narratively. I think she says, well, why wouldn't you stay here in Gumby Hall?
Hmm. Interesting. Do you want to spend a point either from high society or maybe reassurance or some other interpersonal ability?
Sure.
Um,
Let's see what makes sense. I've got a few different interpersonal abilities. Um,
so
yeah, let's do reassurance. Maybe
yeah,
probably that probably makes sense. Yeah.
okay. So
Hmm.
if it's reassurance, then I think what happens is that, as you talk, you get the sense that he realizes what you're getting at and is reluctant to say it. And it does
Hmm.
take some reassurance
Hmm.
from you. But as he starts to feel, you know, reassured, um, he'll say, I mean, he's not invisible, but there's a boy named Felix who visits me sometimes. He's my friend.
Felix. He's your friend, is that what he said?
Yeah.
He's my friend? Yeah. Oh, what does Felix look like? I never could see Mary, so I'd love to know what Felix looks like.
Well, he just looks like, I don't know, a young man, a boy.
Oh,
But he walks on the ceiling.
upside down, as if the
Yeah.
ceiling were a floor.
Well, more like a spider would crawl on the ceiling.
Oh, stuck to the ceiling like a spider.
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, that's an interesting trick. And you and Felix, what do you do together? Does he play blocks with you?
Sometimes we play together. Sometimes he scares me a little.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. What kinds of things does he say that are scary?
He says that one day we have to go into the woods together and that he's going to make me like my father, but he won't tell me what that means.
Oh, and you think it means you some harm? There's something scary about the woods.
No, Felix is my friend. I don't think he would hurt me, but something about the way he talks about the woods or what's in the woods. He says they love me, but I don't really know what he means.
Other people, someone who lives in the woods, perhaps? More friends for you?
Maybe, but Sybil, you'll also recall from
Mhm.
your uh, the worst moments of your vision, a whispering voice behind you that said they love you.
Ah, that's right. That's right. Yes. Uh-huh. And okay. Have you spoken to others about Felix?
No, he says not to tell anyone, but you seem like I can trust you. You won't tell anyone, will you?
Of course not. Of course not. Just between you and I. Felix
He
sounds
looks,
like a good friend,
yeah,
a secret friend. It'll be a secret we keep. Right, Reginald?
that's right.
And I think she'll hang out a little bit longer with him, um, talking of lighter matters. And I think, yeah, I think that's enough. I've gleaned some information.
Nice. Um, so we're at the top of the hour, so we'll take maybe a 10-minute break here. And when we come back, we'll get you all together and decide what you're going to do next. All right. Um, so the three of you, having done a little more investigating, come together back in a room at Gunby Hall where you can talk privately. Um, I think by this time it's, quite late in the afternoon, so we can, skip ahead to you heading into the woods after dinner if that's the plan, or there's a little more time to do some more research or investigating if that's what you want to do. But I'm interested to hear what you're all thinking.
Before we get to that, I'm so sorry to derail. No, I'm not. This is a reasonable question. Um, I wrote in my notes, Jose, that Sybil is in her 40s. Is that right? Or did I write something down incorrectly? Are Sybil and George about the same age, or is Sybil much younger?
Sybil's younger. She's in her 20s, yeah. And
In her
her,
20s. Okay.
and
I
I think
may
we've established,
change their relationship slightly.
and I established that Anthony was younger than her. Anthony, her brother, who's shacking up, well, maybe not shacking up with Owen, but anyways, in a relationship with Owen, is probably also in his 20s, but younger than her.
Okay. Anthony's in his early-ish 20s, and she's in her mid to late 20s. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
in that case, I think George is probably not flirting with you given that age gap. I'm glad I asked because my notes are wrong. But speaking of this group, yeah, I think George has uh, maybe you're in George's room where she does have her uh, piles of documents and notes and etc. laid out in her bed, corkboard style, uh, and is sharing everything that she's learned.
Yeah, so I think that you're all able to share what you've learnt. Um, what are you going to do next?
I am curious what happened to the lord of this manor in the woods that night. Whatever it is that they plan on doing to little Reginald as well. Cut open, you say, George?
Mhm. Not cleanly.
Obviously, we can't let that happen to the poor boy.
No. Nor am
And
I
nor,
particularly eager to share his or Felix's fate.
It's Lord Masson. The name of the Lord is
Massingbird.
Messingbird.
Massenberg. Massenberg. Thank you. And Lord Massenberg has no memory, he says, of what happened to him that night, other than the dolman that's not there anymore. Do you think he's being truthful? Might we get more information before we journey into the belly of the beast?
George looks up at Owen. I think I know who'd be most likely to get answers if he asked.
Is the plan for Owen to shake down the Lord?
Sure, I can do that. This is why I have the 3 intimidation.
And I think George
Don't
is
be,
nodding and says, well,
I wish for him in
someone
his
in this.
office. The office that was locked. Uh, I'm just in there because, of course, I have broken the lock already.
Um,
don't
George
I don't
is
take it this
actually,
time. This time I straight up break the lock so that he knows someone's in there.
don't actually harm him, Owen. Scare him, but don't harm him. He's the Lord after all.
And Lizzie's friend.
That too.
Well, all right, but only because you asked, Miss Carrington.
um,
We appreciate your special skills, Owen.
so the plan is for Owen to intimidate the amnesia out of his lordship. Are Sybil or George gonna go along, or you just leave that sort of thing to Owen?
Or like if he is a monster, like maybe intimidating him is how we get that reveal.
Is this something your spirit guide could help with?
Who is that addressed to? Me?
Owen, yeah. Do you have a I'm
What
currently
do
reading the tab.
spirit guides do?
So the things Spirit Guides can do are in the Spirit Guides tab.
Yeah, I see.
They're not really directly. I mean, I don't really think that they're likely to be directly helpful. Maybe we could like flavor some of the intimidation with some, ectoplasm or something like that. But
Maybe
they're
the automatic writing. We're doing a seance and we're doing it my way, damn it. Sit, pen.
But that's the medium
Sorry, Shane.
unconsciously writes things
yeah,
under the guidance of the spirit. So that wouldn't help like it wouldn't reveal like things that he's an amnesiac about.
yeah, that's right. I mean, you're still limited to things that the spirit knows. Um, I mean, one thing that you maybe want to think about that's not obvious is that, the spirits are invisible and aren't bound to you. So they can sort of surveil a space or something like that if you want to leave them somewhere, invisibly. I don't think that's really something that's going to be useful right now, but it's just, something that you could consider.
Because Lord Messingbird is also, unless he was the one who did it, not likely to know who emptied the lamps.
Yeah, out of character, we could not take that route and we could try to find out who the accomplice is or who's working against us before we venture forth, or we could just venture forth. Any opinions on that?
We can let Owen intimidate his lordship afterwards as a treat.
Scare him the way he was scared that night.
Yeah, I mean there does seem to be something class-ish going on here, right? Because the children who died and disappeared, it seems like are mostly lower classes. But Lord Messingbird was fine. And Reginald's getting this, like, you also are going to get this special treatment, whatever it is. Which maybe they don't want, right? It doesn't seem like he had a nice time, but it does
Yeah,
seem like there is a,
I
a
wouldn't
degree
necess
of
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily
difference.
say Lord Massingbird was fine. He had grievous injuries that
It's
almost killed
true.
him.
That's true. He is alive, though,
Yes,
which
that's
is more
true.
than can be said for the other children.
Um, all
What
right.
sounds fun?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it, Stephen? Do you want to go intimidate the Lord, or
I mean, that was my plan, yes.
yeah, go for it. Go do it.
Hell yeah, do it.
We'll
All
watch.
right.
Like he just says he's an amnesiac. I feel like let's be clear here. This character might be lying.
So just like mechanically to let you know, when he talked about his amnesia, Puckett was here, and Puckett's character has a
Oh,
rating in assess honesty. So
I see.
that's not to say that there's nothing being concealed, but he was being at least broadly honest.
Right. Okay.
I guess also worth clarifying that assess honesty may not work on supernatural creatures. So there was a suggestion from someone that Lord Massingbird might be a monster. That might mean that SS honesty doesn't work on him.
Okay.
I mean, that's like a game mechanical thing, just to be clear as players, but you as, as characters, may well think that Massingbird could have been lying. Um,
I mean,
but
yeah, I'll what was that?
well, I was just going to start framing the scene if the plan is for you to see what you can squeeze out of the
Yeah,
Lord.
my plan is to intimidate him. I like I said, I'm in his office. I
Mhm.
have broken the lock on his door.
Yep. So he will eventually find his way in there and I mean, my vision of this scene is that you're like sitting in his armchair with your feet on his desk or something like that.
Yeah,
Am I right?
I have my cane.
Um,
I'm idly playing with it.
he certainly looks surprised to see you there. Mr. Heath, can I help you? The desk is an
Oh,
antique. I'd appreciate if you'd remove your feet. He does look a little nervous to be
I
saying this to you.
what was that?
He looks a little nervous to be saying this to you.
Oh, well, I am as we've already established. I'm courteous, so I take my feet off the desk.
Right.
Of course, I wouldn't want to damage an antique. I stand and leave the chair and walk over to him. Um, Lord, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting his name.
Massingbird.
Messingbird, yes. Uh, I was quite curious about a story I heard from your servants about, well, you might be an amnesiac, but you hardly left that forest unmarked.
That's true. You can see the limp that I still bear.
Oh, I think we both know it was more of an limp. Lord Massingford.
Mm.
Oh boy, yeah, I will. This is the point of the HBO show. We need to bring in the fan service. Um, Owen undoes his tie, pulls open his shirt. I have some of my own scars from the war. I was shot 3 times, as you can see. Hard to walk away from that, but I did. I push the tip of my cane into his chest, gently push him against the wall. Now, I want to see these scars of yours. And I'm saying it like, again, I do not have flirtation. I know that we talked about last time, was I flirting with the
The
with the
groundskeeper.
groundskeeper? I have a Owen flirts, but not in the way that he would if he had flirtation. Like, I think Sybil doing this would be much more flirtatious.
Yeah.
I think this is the Sybil doesn't need to know about what me and her brother do. Um
Do
yeah,
you want
I'm demanding that he show me the scars.
All right. Do you want to spend a point of intimidation?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So he'll like look coldly into your eyes as he unbuttons his own shirt, peels up his undershirt, um, and you can see this like quite thick band of scar that runs, up out from the line of his pants, all the way up the left side of his chest, quite jagged and uneven.
Now I'm knowledgeable about violence. Is this something he should have been able to survive?
Um, I mean, not really. It's consistent with what George told you about, the doctor's report of the injuries having been, inexplicable, very deep, inflicted with something other than a bladed weapon or a bladed tool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Says, I'm not in the habit of allowing my guests to speak to me this way. But he's not trying to move from, the tip of your cane.
I um I guess look, I you can't, like, you have to let it happen, Jose. Okay, it was already gonna happen. Um, you don't need to call it out. Uh, I trace the cane point along the scars. Um,
He groans slightly.
this is quite the collection you have. It's not often that I encounter a man that has walked away from something more violent than I have. But you might have me beat.
Yeah. Okay, so you spent a point of intimidation, so I guess you have to get something good for that. So he says, "You're more beaten than you know." Maybe we all are.
Oh. I mean, can I do a second spend? Because I really want to know what he means by that.
So, I mean, your
I
spend
say,
will like unroll. We can just play it out from here.
yeah, I say, well, you can trust me that there are a few things that I will. No, I think he says there are. Well, who exactly are we talking about here? Because I don't think that it's you who is in the position of me making threats. who is the one making threats here? Like, I do want to know. Like, he says something has us beat. That
Yeah.
who exactly are you making threats on behalf of?
Well, I wouldn't say on behalf of, I wouldn't dare. Um, a member of, you might call it a cult. We worship certain powers of the outer dark. They made a plan in the woods 15 years ago to draw your Miss Weiberg here, but now she hasn't arrived, and you four have. I worry we'll be punished terribly for our failure.
I nod. Oh, that is good to know. I I say now. This is all quite interesting. And I nod over to his desk. Now I promised Miss Carrington. And she is a delightful woman that I would not cause any harm to you. But I do think that plotting the harm of my patron, that deserves some recompense, doesn't it?
You can't hurt me any more than they have.
We can see about that. But I think that you can write me a check at the very least.
You think that money will help you? Sure.
Oh, I think the money will help my friends, but well, yeah, I think like whatever kind of like I don't know historically what kind of like wealth one would have on hand that could be passed on. I'm just going through. This was the other reason I wanted to intimidate. I'm going through with
Sure.
the blackmail the Lord plan. Like that was the unstated reason that Owen's doing
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Okay, so I think that he'll write you a historically appropriate, generous check, but
Yes.
that's going to be another point of intimidation because your
Yeah,
first
that's
spend was for
fine.
information, the second spend is
Yeah,
for
that's
the
fine.
other benefit. Shall I make this out to the Communist Party of Great Britain? He's horrified at the thought.
Oh, well. Um, if you add a little extra on the end, you can trust us that it will be anonymous.
Mm. I'd still like to accompany you to the Dolmen tonight. I worry that if I don't attend, they will think that I've betrayed them.
I chuckle. Well, a little bit more, and I won't have to share that with them either.
Uh, Um, we might. Well, I guess like, how do you
Look,
want
I know
to?
I'm not like asked like this is just all fictional.
Sure,
Like I
sure.
got the generous check. It
Yeah,
was historically appropriate. This is how we got to that generous check place with my spend.
yeah. I guess I just wondering like how we leave his lordship at the end of this scene. Is he free to button
Promise,
his
Miss
shirt? Is
Carrington.
he
Yeah,
tied up? Like,
yeah,
what
he can
is?
button his shirt. I
Um,
pocket the check and do let him know that, if this check does, if as long as this check is good, we can. I don't need to search out these friends of yours and let them know the ways that you've you're working against them. And I give him a smile and leave.
all right. Um, were Sybil and George doing anything in particular while that was happening, or shall we just have the three of you join up again and plan your path from here?
I think George is just packing and getting ready.
Yeah,
Being prepared, you might say.
nice. All right. And Sybil the same?
Yeah, I imagine Sybil is playing the violin just because that's how she kind of calms her nerves when she's getting ready for a big job. She gains her composure by playing. And so she's maybe, in the drawing room or the conservatory playing. And just in case, there are screams that come from the study, she could play loudly to cover them up because she doesn't quite trust Owen to not actually harm the Lord Massenburg.
Hmm. All right. Well, in that case, maybe the three of you meet again in the conservatory and you have a chat. Owen can tell you what he's learned.
Mhm.
Um, it's going to be dark soon. You can head out into the woods, or you can do a little more planning
Mhm.
first if you'd like. Or maybe you want to reconsider now that you know there's a cult involved. I'm not sure.
So we're walking into an ambush, are we? Victims to the slaughter.
I pull up the hunting rifle from the other night. It can't be any more of a slaughterhouse than the war. It's Carrington, so it should be fine.
George is looking a little bit nervously back and forth with the two of you. And Shane, you can tell me if this is okay. Could George have brought a flashlight?
For sure.
I did look
Mhm.
them up. They are very appropriate. Uh, I think she's just sort of like, oh, because this would have been when they had like tiny little light bulbs in them. And she's just sort of like unscrewing and rescrewing in the tiny little light bulb nervously. I think this might be a more effective weapon, Owen.
Against cultists, perhaps. Well, against the things that aren't cultists, perhaps. But
Hmm.
I don't suspect there will be only monsters there tonight. I expect a man or two at least, and those we can shoot.
Did our host happen to mention how many of these cultists we might encounter, or who they might be during your conversation?
Now, unless you want to correct me, as like that is information I would have. I think I say the man's a overblown lackey to forces greater than himself. I knew one or two of those on two or one or two commanders like that on the battlefront. They they couldn't find their own cockpit, so I shouldn't suspect that whoever these forces are trusted him with any real information.
Yeah, I mean, just to confirm, like that is the impression that came across that he doesn't really know what's going to happen because the plans were all for Miss Weiberg to come here, and you know, he doesn't really know what will happen. Just that there was some sort of plan for what happened when Ms. Weiberg got to the dolmen.
Mhm.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I wish Jack were sober. Well, we've got lanterns, rifles, flashlight. Oh, I know she's English. A torch.
Hmm.
Torch.
um, uh, let's see, you're bringing. Nope, you're Sybil. Uh, Sybil, are you bringing Vesper?
Always, always. To
Hmm,
something so momentous as this, I couldn't leave Vesper at home. And this place isn't safe anywhere. Stays with me.
no,
Perhaps I should have another weapon of some sort? Where did you get the gun, Owen? Not that I'm much good with one.
Oh well, Borrowed it from the Lord.
Yeah, there were hunting rifles in the that were available for your use.
That's right.
And in case it matters, I did my once per session refresh for intimidation. So I have
Nice.
1 point back.
Cool.
Is that a mechanical thing? A refresh?
Whenever you like spend time meaningfully interacting with one of your pillars, in this
Ah.
case, my commitment to the Communist Party, I refresh one of my. You can refresh either 1 point in investigation, or I think like 2 or 3 points in general. But my general was all like filled up, so
Ah,
Yeah. So
got it.
just to be clear, it's not whenever, it's once per session.
Once
it's
per
once per
session.
session. Once per session.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
My
feel like we're
Lord has
halfway
been,
through, so I might as well use it.
yeah, definitely. My Lord has been most indulgent with you, Owen. You do have a way.
Well, that's what Anthony says, at least.
Yes, yes, I'm sure he does.
Um, so is Sybil
Let's
going to take
not.
a rifle?
Um, sure, even though she doesn't really know how to use one.
Mhm.
That could be a comedy of errors, but we'll try it.
Um, so if Sybil and Owen are taking, sorry, is George taking a weapon?
Yeah, she's got a flashlight.
Nice. Um, so if Sybil and Owen have rifles, they're not going to be able to also carry a lantern or something like that. Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
obviously you can have the rifle on your back or something like that, but if you want to have the rifle, sort of drawn or ready for use. Um,
goodness, I
so
can't carry this thing and I don't know how to use it. George, you said that light was inimical to these spirits. Maybe I should bring a lantern instead. That I know how to use.
I mean, if you
And so she,
believe the ravings of a dying child, which I'm inclined to, given the circumstances.
Hmm. I'd probably hurt myself with this anyways. Oh, and you'll have to be our firepower tonight. And so she puts down the rifle and picks up the lantern. Lantern in one hand, uh, Vesper in the other.
God. All right. So is this the plan that you're heading into the woods after dark?
If you
Uh,
say it that way, it's not so bad.
well,
Is it currently dark?
I mean, unless there's stuff that you want to do before it gets dark, we'll say that it is.
I mean, I feel like
I
the
think
the trap was for what after it was dark. Like they're not just gonna be like, well, we'll spring the trap like when it's convenient for them.
uh I think George's current plan. Oh, we can do this in character. Um so I think George says, well, we know they don't like light, and perhaps that's going to keep the dolmen from appearing. It'll be a while before there's another truly dark night, so we can at least buy time. I was thinking maybe we could build a fire in the clearing. Perhaps have some. Well, it's not quite a hearth, is it? But you know what I mean.
Fascinating plan, George. We can go early, before the sun sets, prepare the fire. Are there some servants who could help us gather wood, perhaps? Or do we have to do that ourselves? Not sure I know how to do that.
And
I believe you can
I
survive
think
it,
Sybil
Sybil.
knows how to ask a servant to do things for her. I just feel like that's the
I mean, there's must be firewood gathered somewhere in or around the hall already, but I don't think any servants are going to come out into the woods with you at night in the dark.
How disappointing.
We don't know who the members of this cult are, do we,
what if
Sybil?
Sybil spends a point of her high class? Or do you have middle?
I
Hi.
have high class. Yeah.
Um, yeah, okay, I guess you can spend a point of high society to convince the groundskeeper to wheel
The
a wheelbarrow
groundskeeper
of
too.
firewood out
Real,
into the woods. He
yeah,
will, just to be clear, he will think you're all insane if you ask him to take firewood into the woods.
into the
Like
woods.
it's
Yes.
cold woods.
If you begin on this errand, I think George will say, Sybil, we can gather firewood ourselves.
Really, really, really,
We'll
George.
also say
Yeah.
that
Well,
I was just out of
I will.
character. I was suggesting it. I don't think Owen's suggesting.
Really, George. All right, right. I will bow to your expertise in all of this. I know nothing about these outdoor activities. But if you feel there will be wood out there, is that where wood comes from? From the forest? Oh my.
I think at this point, George is assuming that Sybil is, pulling the other one, and will give you a tight smile in return to, arranging her pack.
All right. And my other question is, Lord Massingbird did ask if he could still come with you to the into the woods tonight. Are you gonna allow that?
Oh yes, I'll allow.
All right. He'll take a lantern as well. And he will look terribly nervous and afraid. Sybil and George are unclear whether that's of his supposed allies or of Owen or both.
Or both.
Um, and yeah, I think you head out into the woods. It is extremely dark. The clouds have completely obscured the moon. And so once get deep enough past the tree line that you can't see the lights of Gunby Hall anymore, it's only the two lanterns and the torch that light the way. I assume that you're going to head towards the clearing that you saw last night. Is that right?
Yeah. I thought we were going a little bit before sundown just to
Oh, okay.
get the fire set up, right?
Yeah,
And I think that was the
Okay.
plan, yeah.
Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
that's okay.
I don't
Well,
want
yeah,
to
that
get
that makes
OS
sense.
on us, but yeah.
Um, Interesting. Okay, so you arrive in the clearing, and you build a fire. Um,
Twilight.
And I'm happy to spend a point of outdoors for that.
I think you don't need to spend to make a fire. Um,
Hmm.
um,
You were right, George. There is quite a bit of wood out here.
um, and then, yeah, Lord Massingbird just looks progressively more nervous as the sun goes down and as the fire and the lanterns become the only sources of light. Um,
Mhm.
Eventually, he'll say that they won't like that. But what are you going to do when you have to leave the fire? You're going to stay here till daybreak? I can hear them already gathering in the woods, even if you can't.
Really? And are they saying something, Lord? Do they speak to you?
The limbless ones do not speak.
Limbless. So the fire
I feel,
burns. Go for it. Yeah.
uh,
Do
I think, George is going to begin setting up the various paraphernalia of spiritualism that she's, I guess, confiscated over the years. Real sort of teacher's desk drawer vibe. Um, and she says, well, uh, they may be spirits or creatures or whatever it is they are, but we've got friends of our own, don't we? I think for the first time, she will look to where she knows her spirit guide is, despite having talked to it earlier, and gives it a little smile.
You think your pet ghosts will help you? You have no idea what you've stumbled into.
Well, you've stumbled into it with us, Lord. So hopefully you have something more helpful to say.
It's not too late to turn the gun on yourself. Is that what you want to hear?
No, my dear. Not at all helpful.
Um, and so, George, is there something that you're planning to do with the spiritualist paraphernalia?
Mhm.
Are you waiting for it to get
Yeah.
dark first, or like completely dark, or because the sun's going down at least?
She would love to find Felix
Mhm.
because I don't think she learned the name of the other spirit that they know for sure is sort of kicking it. Um, and we don't have, or at least George hasn't collected evidence that Anthony is unquiet. Uh, yeah.
Um, so what would that look like? Do you want to have your spirit just check whether Felix is dead as a first step, or how will you approach this?
Yeah, I was thinking find someone by name or
Hmm.
description. Which
Yes,
I think is probably pretty challenging because I'm imagining there are some sort of magical defenses in place. Maybe there aren't. Who can say? You can, specifically. And I think as George is setting up and she's got her board and her planchette and her pendulums and looking a little bit sheepish, she does have a crystal ball. She
Mhm.
looks around, daring Lord Massingly to say anything. Um, and she will say to Sybil, I think, I mean, if it still is a boy in some way, you seem, I don't know, you have a softer touch than I do, I would say. Do you want to talk to him, or are you okay with me doing it?
Wait, were you saying that to Sybil or to Lord Massingly?
Yeah. Actually, I guess sidebar, did Sybil tell us about your conversation with Reginald? Did you break your promise not to tell anybody?
Oh, right, yes. She did.
Ah, ah. Yeah, so you're the one who talked to Reginald.
So, sorry, out of character. So, you're George is asking Sybil whether she would be the one to
Talk to
speak
Felix.
to
Yeah,
Felix if he
yeah,
arrives. Yes.
yep. George is happy to do it. She just knows she's doesn't have
No,
the
the skills to do
social
it. Yeah,
skills.
yeah,
There's a reason
yeah.
she has a basement office that people do not visit, except for her research assistant.
If you can make him come, I will do my best to talk him up.
Well,
Right.
let's see if I can find him first.
Okay. And just in terms of setting the difficulty, is it that you're
Yes.
asking for Felix Southill, or is there some other description that you want to use to try and uh, have the spirit find him? Like how, what are you asking the
Oh,
spirit to do?
yeah, I think Felix Southill, who disappeared from this forest on the date that she would know. Um, I don't know if we got much of a physical description of him, but I suppose he's a spirit now, so
I mean, Lord Massingbird is right here. If you want a physical
yeah.
description, it's certainly available.
Yeah.
The But yeah, okay. So I think, it's not an especially obscure person in this region at least, and specificity is going to bump up the difficulty a little. So we'll say it's a difficulty 6 glamour test.
All right. And I'll spend 3 because I think it would be interesting. Either way. Yeah. And I have closed the dice tab because I'm very silly. All right. Do +3. Difficulty 6. Even
Mhm.
odds. Ooh, that's an 8.
All right. And can I ask, do you do this like as the last, stirrings of sunlight disappear, or do you do it once it's become completely dark apart from the fire and your lights?
I think it's the last moment of sunset.
Okay.
Long shadows. And she's got a pendulum, which again, she seems somewhat embarrassed to own.
All right. So um, you also need to spend points of glamour just for communication with the spirit. Um,
Hmm.
so the spirit indicates to you that it knows where Felix is. Um, you can sense that from it. But to actually get an answer that you can sort of process, that's going to be another,
Mhm.
uh, well, either a 1 point glamour spend just for a quick, yeah, I think just a 1 point glamour spend for it to
Yeah,
tell you.
absolutely. I'll happily spend that.
Um, and as the last, like, uh, sorry, so just looking at the cryptesthesia options, do you see a place indicated by the spirit? Do you get an auditory message, a sense impression? Like, what is this? How do you receive this?
Yeah. I think, she had her pendulum out and was like, all right, I'm gonna get vague swinging. And instead, I think she just looks and sees um, something helpful. And the pendulum drops from her fingers, regardless of what it is that she sees.
All right. So the vision is very disorienting because for a second you see yourselves from the out, you see yourself and your companions from the outside. You see that immediately behind you in the clearing is this massive dolmen, impossibly large, that wasn't there or isn't there. And standing just in the mouth of the dolmen in the darkness is a child with glowing red eyes. Um, and as the impression passes, you know, in your disorientation, realize that this is true, that there is a dolmen now immediately behind you where there wasn't just moments ago, and that there's a little boy standing in the mouth of the dolmen. And this seems like a good spot for our second break. So we'll take 5 here and come back and see what you can find of Felix. All right. So I'm going to get you all to make a composure test as you realize that a dolmen has impossibly manifested just yards away from you. So it's a 4 point composure test. Sorry, a difficulty 4 composure test. You can put as many composure points as you want in and roll the dice.
Okay, and we add however many we spend to the roll.
Mhm.
Okay.
Um,
Another 8 for George.
nice, holding it together nicely.
Rolling
Um,
hot.
Sybil also holding it together. And what about Owen?
Yeah, we're gonna see. Sorry, I was just opening the diagram. Ooh, hold on. I feel like we're gonna be asked to roll composure, or sure, I'll spend one. That's a 5.
Nice. Um, so all of you hold it together. The boy you can see in the mouth of the dolmen calls out to you and says, please, you must extinguish the fire. Nanny will be terribly cross.
And Sybil steps forward and says, Nanny? Is Nanny here? Is she coming?
Not while the fire burns.
What does Nanny want here on this night?
Um,
You can tell me.
so you're like, yeah, sort of calling this out across the clearing, or you're approaching the dolmen. Like, what is happening as you talk?
Yeah, approaching the boy somewhat closer. I mean, I don't know how big this clearing is. And so but yeah, I think because she already agreed, she told George she was going to
Mhm.
parley with Felix. Um and so she is stepping forward to
Uh,
speak with him.
so Felix is backing away a little, like deeper into the dolmen as you come. You can see that there's some sort of uh, like stone altar or something similar inside the dolmen that he's backing towards.
A quick aside, I meant to ask this before we cut for break, but I didn't get a
Mhm.
chance. The attunement process in under the magic tab or the spell tab, I can't
Mhm.
remember where it is. That's something that only happens. So we couldn't attune to this place now, or could we attune to this place now?
Well,
Since clearly it's a place of power. Yeah.
assuming it's a place of power, you can
Uh-huh.
start the attunement ritual whenever you want.
Uh-huh.
One consideration is that the difficulty of attunement is higher if you try and do it quickly.
I
So
see.
plausibly, you want to make sure there's not going to be any imminent danger to give yourself enough time. Or you might
Right.
want to try and speed run the ritual so that you can get away faster.
Right. So if we do flash back for a moment to the drawing room when we were deciding what to do here, uh, do you all think that we should try to do the attunement, assuming we have located what we are pretty sure, certain is a place of power, and maybe it's a ley line crossing. Uh, do we want to attempt to pull the um, uh, do the attunement while the fire burns? Was that the reason that we decided to do the fire?
Well, attuning this is why we came here, but I am curious before we try tuning, since again I'm hitting this a lot, but like I do have violence. Is Are there signs of I guess I don't have detect. I guess if somebody else has notice, they'd probably be the one to detect it before me if there's any signs of something other than us here.
Yeah, so sorry, that is a good call. So you can definitely hear Lord Massingbird mentioned the limbless ones in the woods, and you can definitely hear that, beyond the circle of the firelight, there is something moving out in the woods, almost all around you.
But held off by the fire somehow. So, um, all right. So what I'm hearing is that we're not going to try an attunement right now, but that we're going to just keep playing the scene out. And is that what I'm hearing? All
That's
right.
what I was saying was like we could try it based on how dangerous it is. Like if we think that we're going to be ambushed while doing the attunement, it might not be. Maybe we could pretend to start the attunement.
Draw them out.
Draw them out.
Uh, I mean, would Massingbird know that we were pretending slash betray us? I don't think we know that.
We've established he knows actually nothing about magic, right? He entirely is like the guy that reads a bunch of pop culture magic books and thinks he
This
knows
is
something
true.
about magic.
Yeah, that's right. I
Well,
mean,
let's
just to be
let's
clear, the place of power is within the dolmen itself. So if you want to do the attunement ritual, whoever's participating in the ritual will need to be in the dolmen, um,
got it.
which we haven't quite hit yet.
That is helpful. Yeah.
That's
Uh,
helpful. Okay. Shall I continue with the boy, or did you want to say something too?
yeah. No, I think George is standing behind you, glancing nervously at Owen and Lord Massingbird. And her flashlight is off to say battery, but her thumb's on the switch.
Yeah, Owen has the rifle over like ready but at ease. You know, he has it over propped over one arm, pointed towards the ground.
Sure.
So I think I could spend a point of reassurance to try to like draw Felix out. And so I think we see Sybil
Well, I
go ahead.
think you have to get inside the dolmen so that you're close enough to like try and reassure him before you can do that.
Ah, okay. All right. What do you all think? Out of character, of course.
I mean, you could
Sybil's
talk
kind
about
of
it in
reckless.
character. You could just call out across the clearing.
I think we had it. Whatever is coming for us is not going to is waiting for us to go inside.
And I think George will look at Owen. We're not going to let her go in there on her own, are we?
Felix will call out.
Well, of course not. Miss George, one never lets a lady go unaccompanied.
Felix will call out. Please, I can't say it where he will hear, and gestures at Lord Massingbird.
Oh. Um, Owen, do ask Lord Massenburg to put a little distance between us. Would you? He seems to
And he's
respond well.
right next to me anyway. And so I look at him and say, well, do put a little distance between us.
I'm not leaving the firelight, but he'll back away. Um, but I think it's clear that Felix wants you to come to him and is not going to say anything unless you do.
Sybil looks over her shoulder at George and says, well, George, we either go in or we flee.
George looks at the woods that rustle with the limbless ones and says, I'm not one to back down from a challenge, and I don't think you two are either. Although maybe she will step in front of Sybil and take the lead with her flashlight at her side.
Not
It's
turned
off
on, but
for
yeah.
now. Yeah. Hmm.
All right. So I think we're agreed that we begin the approach to the dolmen.
Right.
No.
And is it right that Owen is sort of hanging back with the rifle?
Stephen.
Like I think I am following it behind, yes.
Okay.
taking up the rear.
Yeah, I'm keeping a lookout. And I
Uh,
realize while I have violence, I technically do not have notice, so it's probably not. I'm probably not the person that should be the lookout, but okay.
Yeah.
all
And
right.
maybe yeah, Sybil, has I can imagine she has all her feelers out to see if there's anything else beyond the dolmen, how Felix is behaving, anything that she might be noticing that might be amiss or threatening as they approach.
I mean, pretty much everything feels amiss and threatening, but nothing really specific beyond what you already know. Um, so, I mean, stepping through the mouth of the dolmen, um, you realize that it seems to be bigger on the inside than it was on the outside. It was already quite enormous from the outside. There is an altar in the middle of the room, sorry, room of the area, um, carved out of some kind of stone. And at the head of the altar, there's a bowl or basin of some kind that's been carved there. Um, and above the basin is a sort of symbol carved from stone as well, red stone, a broken red ring, which all of you recognize as a symbol that you saw in your visions during your initiation.
Mhm.
Um, and uh, what will Felix say now? Actually, Felix won't say anything. He'll immediately attack as soon as the two of you are inside the dolmen and before Owen can arrive. Um,
Dang it.
so uh, Felix is going to make a fighting test. So, George, it sounds like you went into the dolmen first. Is that right?
Mhm.
All
With her nothing in assess honesty, she is genuinely surprised, bless her.
right. All right. Felix makes an attack roll. That's a 5. That's a success. So Felix lunges towards you, doesn't try to harm you, but wrests the flashlight from your hands and flings it behind him. Um, in this game, we don't particularly have an initiative order. We'll just sort of go in the order that makes sense. But you sort of get roughly one action when we come to you on your turn. Um, George, it probably makes sense that you get to go next because Felix is right there. He's sort of baring some horribly sharp teeth at you, hissing. What do you do?
Uh, she is not as scrappy as Owen, but she is certainly scrappier than Sybil. So I think she will, I guess, lunge at the thing that certainly looks like a child, and attempt to keep him occupied and say over her shoulder, Sybil, the flashlight. And I think that's a fighting test
Well, so what is it that you're trying to do exactly?
or grappling.
You're trying to grab Felix, hold him still?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
he can't interfere with Sybil going to get the flashlight.
Yeah, I think that would be a fighting test.
All right.
Actually, maybe it's a fighting contest where you're both trying to do something at the same time. Sorry, I'm just trying
Ooh.
to remember how these rules work. Um,
Mechanics.
uh, okay, I think it probably doesn't count as a contest. I think we'll say that it's just a simple single test to like slow him down enough that Sybil can go for the flashlight or do something else. But it's not
Okay.
gonna single success is not gonna keep him there, indefinitely.
All
But yeah, go ahead.
right. And I'm going to spend both my fighting points. Why not? That's an 8. Dang.
All right. So yeah, you've got a good grip on him. And I mean, it's clear as you grab him that this is not a spirit. Like this is a tangible human being. Whatever's
Hmm.
changed about Felix, it's not that he's dead or a ghost or a spirit or anything like that.
Hmm.
Um, Sybil, George has called for you to go for the flashlight, which is rolling towards the rear of the dolmen. the deep, dark rear of the dolmen, only occasionally illuminated by the light from the torch as it rolls. Is that what you're
Uh-huh.
going to do?
I'm wondering whether Sybil, since she's so enamored of her new spirit guide, will ask her spirit guide to retrieve the torch. Is that rather than jump into because she's not, well, I guess she has athletics. It would be for if she did it, it was an athletics roll,
I think
or what would it be?
you can just go and grab the torch. Like it doesn't
Oh, it's
require a
right
roll
there.
to pick something up.
Oh, okay. All
The
right. If
thing
it's
is
right
that you've
there.
got to get much deeper into the dolmen to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I think Symbol's going to leap for the torch.
Okay. So as you get towards the back of the dolmen, you can grab the torch, but you also realize that the light above you is growing brighter and brighter as you go. And towards the rear of the dolmen, if you look up, you see not the stone slab above you that you should see, but the stars, or some stars, closer than you've ever seen them before. In fact, so close that you're going to take 2 points of health damage as you're burnt by the proximity of the night sky.
Ouch. Okay.
But you can
Shields.
grab the torch.
All right, I'm gonna take
Um,
my damage.
and George, Felix is like writhing in your grip and starts, screaming and wailing about the stupid fire and begging and threatening and everything that he can think of to try and convince you to put the fire out, which I don't imagine is very convincing, but that is what he's doing. Um, Owen, you have a rifle. Um, Felix is in George's grip, which makes it, I mean, not impossible, but maybe not so easy to take a shot from where you are. What will you do?
Um, so like this Felix, does he still look does he look ghostly or does he look physical?
He's clearly physical because George is grabbing him.
Okay, yeah. Well, I've seen movies where someone wrestles with a ghost. Just saying.
Okay.
Uh I just wanted to clarify. Um that doesn't look like she's wrestling a hologram or something.
That's right.
Um uh I'm a good shot though. I can make this shot.
Okay, so if you fail this
I
roll, you're going to hit George. That's going to be the
I have
stakes.
I am fine with that as a player.
yeah, I also have a lot of battle. I can make this shot.
All right.
He's competent.
Yeah. Um, all right. So it's a difficulty of 4 to hit Felix. So add how many points are you going to add?
I'll go ahead. I'm gonna so a difficulty of 4, if I spend 3, that's an automatic success.
That's right. But still roll in case it's a crit.
Oh right. Okay. I'll spend 3 here because I have so many fighting points. I need to spend them.
Great.
Um okay, plus 3.
That is a
That's an
crit.
8.
All right. So you're going to do double damage, which means roll 2d6.
Um so here's the thing. Because I'm looking here with oh, sorry, things are messed up. I'm looking at the fighting thing here. This is what
Mhm.
it says.
Okay.
If you have a gun or advantageous position, damage is the higher of 2d6.
Okay. So we'll just double the higher of 2d6 for your crit.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify
Yeah.
what that is. Okay.
Crits are 5 and 6.
So on it, you score a crit if you beat the difficulty by 4 or more.
Oh, I see. That's how it is. Okay, got it.
All right. So that
Okay,
is
that's
12 points of
12
damage. All right. Where are you
What
aiming? Like for center
mix?
mass, I guess?
mean, the center of mass probably isn't exposed because he's wrestling with George. I'm probably aiming for the head.
All right. So 12 points of damage is gonna, you know, will hit him in the head. A large chunk of his head is obliterated, and a sort of horribly luminous darkness shines out of the exposed interior of his skull. But George, he doesn't slow down any. He's still writhing and screaming in your grip. Um, and
I get, oh, go ahead, sorry.
go on.
Uh, I feel like I should probably make a composure test, and I know what she's going to do if she if she succeeds. Uh, but
All right.
I think this is the first time she's seen someone straight up shot. So, well, broad definition of someone.
Broad definition of straight up.
To work as a nurse in the war, I thought.
She trained as a nurse.
Trained as a nurse.
Yeah, she was in her 20s. I don't know, but she probably like worked in Britain, right?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think she was deployed. That is a 6 for composure.
All right. So you hold it together. Um, and as this is happening, Lord Massingbird will run at the fire and start trying to kick the logs apart to extinguish the flames. Um, it's not going to work immediately or quickly, but that's clearly what he's trying to do. And if, at some point he's going to succeed in darkening it. And you can hear, in the woods, the things that are massing out there, um, you know, make hungry noises and come a little closer as the fire dims slightly.
George. No, not George. Owen, bring your dog to heel.
Sybil, well, I think we should come back to George because you're still wrestling with the little monster. What do you do?
I mean, I think she can. Well, maybe she can't hear. The gunfire is still ringing in her ears, but she knows that Felix does not like the fire, and she is miffed at being attacked, and also knows enough medicine to know this thing should be dead and is not. And so I think, systematically working through her options, she will try to drag it towards the firelight. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and toss him in if the successes are particularly good, but
All
or
right.
even just like out of the dolmen, I think would be great.
Okay, so I think dragging him out of the dolmen is an athletics test, and
Absolutely.
getting him all the way into the fire to throw him in would be an athletics contest, which is like a series of athletics tests.
Uh, let's start with the athletics test because I'm imagining this is going to take a while, right? If they're sort of like hauling in both directions and scrambling, etc. So,
Hmm.
and I'm
All
gonna
right.
zero that out as well. Ooh, that
Okay.
is a 4.
All right. So you succeed in dragging him from the dolmen. Um, and I guess that means you still have a grip on him. He's going to take advantage of you not letting go of him to try and bite you again. Um, and he will make a fighting test for that. Let's see. He'll spend another 3 points of fighting.
Maybe it was just the top half of the head that went, Jose. He's
Yeah,
still
so
got
I'm
mandibles.
imagining like a big chunk of skull like this got knocked away, but he's still screaming, so there's still a mouth. Um,
Mm.
that is a 6, so that's a success, and we'll say just 1d6 damage. So that's just 1 point of damage. So in all the dragging, he's not able to get a good bite, um,
Mm.
but 1 point of health damage. Um, Owen, well, yeah, Owen, you've still got your gun trained on Felix. The first shot didn't seem to slow him noticeably. Um, but maybe some more fire will. What will you do?
Uh, I think the first thing I want to do is this is why I got back that 1 point of intimidation. I shout at Lord Massingbird that you saw my aim, Lord Massingbird. I hope you don't force me to direct a similar shot in your direction.
Um, so you don't need to spend for this. What you'll see is that
Okay.
his pants are on fire, like he's set himself on fire because he's so intent on trying to extinguish the flames. And
Okay.
he will yell at you, "Yes, please shoot me before they get here, please." So you will not successfully intimidate him into stopping at this
Okay.
point.
Okay. That's fine. He's on fire. It's just more fire at this point. Um, I have the check too, so just as long as I get cash it before he turns up dead.
Great
Um,
plan.
uh, yeah. Felix is still latched on. How far is Felix from Felix and George from me?
I think everything's pretty close together at this point.
I guess I'm gonna try to grab Felix and like just fling him off of George.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that's probably an athletics contest. Um, actually, I think just in athletics. Well, sorry, it's George that's got a grip on Felix, right? So,
Oh, okay, George,
Yeah.
you're keeping him from. Okay, did you have a
Uh,
plan?
George was trying to put him in the fire because he seemed not to like that. And that's as
Oh,
far
okay.
as her plan is
I'll
currently.
help with that. I can grab him and fling him into the fire for you.
Oh, please do.
all right. So it's going to be a contest to get him into the fire, which will be a few dice rolls at least. I just want to check
Okay.
before we do that. Sybil, what are you doing?
So Sybil has the torch now,
Mhm.
and she is under the dolmen, under the stars. She has been burned by the by the brightness of the stars, right?
Yeah, it feels a little
Um,
like sunburn.
like a sunburn, yeah. Um, and there's an altar with a bowl,
Mhm.
and I mean, the way the dolmen is, it's like, is this like a obvious, like, okay, this is a really dangerous situation. I should get out of the dolmen. Is that what Sybil's? Is this like there's no way other than out the way we came to get away from this
I
burning
feel like
light?
you should at this point start you should start the ritual, I feel like.
Oh, I should start the attunement?
So
Like,
you can do that, but if you do it now while Owen and George are occupied, they won't be able to help you with the ritual, which will
yeah,
make it
yeah.
more difficult to succeed.
More difficult to succeed. Right, 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 right.
Um,
Um,
but yeah, I mean, the only way away from the burning starlight is to move back towards the mouth of the dolmen.
uh-huh. Yeah. And with the light of the fire, did we see Felix like respond to the light of the fire? I know the other things in the woods aren't approaching because of the light of fire, but did we see any sense that Felix was sensitive to light?
So Felix doesn't seem to be directly sensitive to light, but he also didn't, he wasn't moving out of the mouth of the dolmen towards the fire.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Right.
you
And
know,
he's
you
already next to the fire now, and these guys are going to try to toss him in. Um, I'm just thinking, I mean, I'm open to suggestions from my compatriots out of character because I'm not sure what Sybil can do here. The flashlight doesn't seem, the torch is not going to make a difference to Felix. And I mean, she could go to the altar and try to trash the altar. I don't know what she could do. Um,
All right. I mean, if there's nothing in particular that you want to do, let's just do the contest to see if we can get Felix into the fire, and
Right, and
that
then we
might,
come back to me.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, Stephen, uh, Owen is going to make a athletics test. Um, I would say that you could cooperate with George, but I don't think George has any points left in athletics to cooperate with. Um,
Yeah.
but um,
And where my bad knee is going to cause a problem because I only have
so
2 athletics points to spend.
All right. So the nature of a contest is that you and your target make alternating tests of the same ability or the relevant ability until one of you
Okay.
fails. Um, so go ahead.
Oh. Okay, I'll spend 1 point.
All right. If
And
Sybil
I'm
has
trying to get a 4.
athletics, you can run over. Yeah, it's a target of 4. If Sybil wants to run over and help and has athletics points to spend, how does cooperation work? Okay, so Sybil can help by contributing as many points from her athletics pool as she wants, but you
Uh-huh.
lose 1 point, right? So if you give Owen 2 points, or if you spend 2 points, Owen gets 1 point to use. You
Right.
know what I mean? Or 3 points, it's 2 points, etc.
Right. Would that be helpful, Stephen? I have 2 points, so I could just give you, I would, the net would be one for you.
Uh, yeah, I don't think because I don't think there's like you're not going to have anything to spend those points on probably before this
Probably
wraps up,
not. Yeah. Yeah.
unless things go really badly.
Unless things go really badly. I have flee still, so I can still use that.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna let me go back
So I'll
to
do that.
total.
Sybil rushes back. So she's rushing toward the fire now to help her comrades get rid of the little demon.
I'm gonna
All
save
right,
save one in case I need to make another roll, but
mhm.
we'll see here. Hopefully I hit this. Okay, that's an 8.
Nice. So, I mean, that's a crit. So I think maybe the extra benefit that you get here. Oh, sorry, there's no crits in a contest, is the rule. So it doesn't help you. But uh, Felix is going to make his first roll in the contest. He's going to spend 3 points to succeed automatically, which he does. And Owen, as you like grapple with him, like as someone who's experienced with violence, you can feel that he's much stronger and more powerful physically than his, size or apparent age would allow.
I don't have the like I might have the skill, but I just don't have the strength anymore to wrestle with him.
I mean, the
Um,
dice might get lucky. You can just try your luck.
oh, I have 1 point left in athletics. I'm gonna see if I can tire him out. I guess what would breaking off the conflict at this point mean mechanically?
I mean, I guess it just means that you lose, that he breaks free of your grip.
Okay, so like there's really no cost to not continuing rolling. Like the only thing I can that can happen is I lose the contest.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, yeah,
Okay. So like I might as well just continue then.
I think that's right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna power through this, spend my last point of athletics, see how this gets me. That's a 5. I'm still in it.
All right. So, uh, Felix, a little more conservative now with how much he wants to put into this role, but succeeds again. So now Owen's going to have to just roll
What a struggle.
the straight die.
Yep,
I'm looking for a 4 or better.
I know. Oh,
Ooh.
it's a
Four.
4. Like just barely. I can
This is
feel
epic. What does
that
this
like
look
bad
like?
knee like almost giving out on me.
Um,
This is why I'm not an adventurer anymore.
right. Felix will again. Oh, Felix fails. So you
Whoops.
fling Felix into the fire.
Yay!
I did
Bye
not
bye,
expect that.
Felix. That took some doing too. That was a
Felix was too confident at first. If he had just not tried gotten that like I'm gonna get the full. Oh, that was a one though, so it would have been hard to apportion his points well.
Yeah. Um, so Felix, the fire like burn like it's almost like you threw fuel into the fire. The fire like almost explodes, like it rages upwards into the sky. His body is consumed in the flames. Lord Massingbird is also, in the fire, so the huge expansion of the flame is gonna at least
Now
badly
that
hurt
now that
him.
Felix is on fire, I'll pull Massingbird out because I do.
I don't know that you
It's he's
can.
oh well.
I mean, at least you're gonna take some health damage if you climb into the
I'll do
fire to
it.
try and do
I'll
it.
do it. I have plenty. Like I at this point have maxed out my health.
Okay. Um, Well, I think it probably makes sense that that's the better of 2d6 in damage to you.
Okay,
Um,
I can roll that.
so that's
Oh,
going to be
you rolled it?
three.
Okay,
Yes,
five.
three, just three. So it's the higher of the two.
Oh, okay. Right.
So yeah, you're definitely burnt as you like plunge into the flames, but you're able to get a grip on Lord Massingbird and drag him out. Um,
Fine. It's just a
he's,
portal.
screaming and badly burnt himself. Um, Felix, as he is, charred to ashes, calls out from the flames, "The children love you," and that's the last that he says. Um, Lord Massingbird, I'm imagining you're like rolling him on the ground to try and put the flames out. Is that
Yeah, stomping on it occasionally to get a flame properly out.
all right? I think that he's badly burnt enough that somebody's going to need to make a first aid test to like stabilize him if you want him to make it back uh, to civilization. Um,
George is
I
rummaging
will
through
say the
her
man
pack.
showing up dead would complicate things.
I would love to make a first aid test, and I think I'm just going to spend three to
all
do
right.
it, drawing on her training.
So he is very seriously wounded and will need like more substantial medical attention, but you've stabilized him for now. Um, the you can hear that out in the woods, the
Should you
limbless
make the roll
ones.
though to see if you crit?
I don't know if there is a meaningful crit to get here. I mean,
Okay.
he's stable enough to get back to town. If you
Okay.
have an idea for an extra benefit you might get on a crit, we can do that. Um,
I do not.
yeah. Um, The limbless ones out in the woods, their chittering is more excited. Um, there were some squeals of unhappiness and pain as the flames brightened when Felix plunged in. But for the time being, it seems that you are not in immediate danger.
Mhm.
Maybe, George, with your outdoors, can sort of rebuild the fire enough that it's, stable and not going to light the clearing or anything like that from the damage that Massingbird did. And you're in a position to attempt the ritual if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Who's going to lead the ritual?
What are the advantages? The leader has to do.
The leader, the advantage to the leader in this case is that, oh, sorry, in any attunement, the leader gains magic points on a success equal to the maximum value of magic in this node, and everyone else in the ritual just gets one magic point. Um,
Oh, and is there a reason for one person to be the leader rather than the other mechanically? Like, does it help to have more composure? Or I can't remember
um,
how
It's
those
will
things work.
usually.
Yeah, so will
Oh,
is
it's well.
the mainly what you're going to be spending. But assuming that the others are going to help, you're going to be able to draw on their will. The leader will be able to draw on their will anyway. So
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't done the maths to work out if there is a particular mechanical advantage to one or the other, but I don't think it makes a
Up
big difference.
Well, I think the
above the
rest of us like
table,
it costs. Yeah.
Yeah, because we pay the one. But above the table, I like it being Sybil, right? Because George came up with a Scooby-Doo-ass plan, and Owen did, monster chucking, and now Sybil gets to
Yeah.
be ethereal and beautiful and lead this ritual.
I also think that Sybil is honestly the spellcaster of the group. She is clearly the wizard.
Yeah,
All right.
100%. Or the bard.
Or the bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So just want to clarify as a rules thing. I'm going to talk about, will costs and will tests and things like that. You have the option to spend a point of magic for 2 points of will anytime if you have a point of magic available, or everyone does. So the first thing is that you have to pay the cost for the ritual, which is 3 points of will. Um,
Okay.
Sorry, no, my mistake. 3 points of will per point of magic granted by the place or item. So that is 6 points of will cost.
Oh my. Okay. So I pay that, so that'll take me down to 6. Okay.
All right. So the next thing to talk about is just what it says in the rules tab under working magic. So for every 5 points in the cost of any incantation or ritual, the players should describe some evocative or dangerous element of symbolism or metaphor incorporated into the spell's casting. So that's just like one, you need to describe something that's like cool and weird and creepy about what you're doing as you start to lead this ritual.
So the ritual itself is taking place in the dolmen, right? We have to return to the dolmen, right?
Hmm.
And uh, so we enter under the dolmen and we're under this kind of canopy of stars. Um, still, and then I have to describe something trippy about attuning to this place.
Yeah, or something that you use in the ritual. So, the
Uh-huh.
example was that summoning the shade of a dead person requires a sod of earth from their grave, their favorite piano piece, and a half bottle of Montrachet 1928. So just something
Uh-huh.
evocative about what the ritual requires.
Uh-huh. Um, I think we have a flashback to Sybil during the day after her conversation with Reginald, um, has been collecting dead spiders from around the from around the house, and she doesn't know why she's been doing that. But since he described Reginald Felix, um, as a spider-like creature, um, she has been thinking about tales of sympathetic magic, and so she's gathered this, and so I think there is, what does she have to do with the spiders? She's trying to create magic. Oh, she has to consume the spiders. Oh, that's gross.
Yep.
So so that's what has to happen. She realizes to her horror that that's what has to happen
Mm.
to imbibe the power of this site.
All right. Um, so the rituals take the form of a contest. So you're going to be making a series of will tests. Um, the difficulty of the will test is 5, or you can bring it down to 4 by spending 1 point of occult if you want to, if you're able to draw on some of your previous research.
Sure, I have a point of occult. I should use it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that means the difficulty for you will be 4 on each test. So lead us off. That's a 4 point will test. You can either use points of magic to add points of will, or the others participating in the ritual can help you.
Mm. So it makes sense um, for Sybil to begin with her own will and then draw on her compatriots as necessary.
Sure.
Um, so it's a test of 4. What do you think? Should I go all out? If I fail the test, what happens then? The attunement fails completely.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I
I
should
would
I
spend
should
3 because we have plenty of
spend
will
3.
points to have.
Yeah.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
spend 3. I will
Remember, you
spend
can also,
3
because you can also spend your point of magic for 2 points of will.
for 2 points of will. Okay, so I'll spend 3. Does it make sense to roll? Will a
There's
crit make a difference?
there's no crits in a contest, so you don't need to
Okay.
roll. Um, the Really you're just trying to wear down the inertia that's resisting your attempts to attune.
Right.
So nobody's going to roll in this contest because we're all just spending 3 points at a time, it seems. So you can feel the resistance of the land itself. You know, it doesn't want humans to attune to it, and you're going to
Hmm.
have to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think Sybil definitely pulls out Vesper now and begins to play after she's eaten the spiders. uh,
um, are you going to spend your will down to 0, or are you going to use some magic? What are you doing?
what? So the next phase of how many contests are there? 3, you
So
said?
you don't know how many points of inertia. I mean, you have to keep going until the inertia
Until the
like
inertia
fails.
gives. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'll
Uh,
spend the. Oh, what do you think? Yeah.
I would just say maybe as you begin to play, George will step up to you, next to you, and begin to sing. And you can feel her presence bolstering you. And I will spend 4 because there's a cost of 1 to send it to you. And I think
Nice.
she's also slightly flat, but it's the thought that counts.
All right. Um, so you feel yourself push a little deeper into the space. You can feel now the ley lines themselves that they meet here. You know, you're getting closer, but there's still like significant resistance to go. Um, what do you do for your next test?
Um. Uh. You mean mechanically, right?
Yeah.
Um. Yeah.
So I can help here. So I forget, what is the math like for like helping in this?
So whatever number of points you spend to help, Sybil gets like 1 less. So if you want to
Okay.
give her enough for an automatic success, that's 4 points.
Okay. And the new, so the spending the occult, like it changes everyone to a 4.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. So it's not a new spend every roll. Okay.
That's right.
That was the thing I was checking.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
okay. So I'll spend I think I'm spending a point of magic plus let's I need to give 4 total
Yeah.
plus 2 points of will.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, I think that this is the first time we see, because I haven't really been thinking about my spirit guide. I think I think that my spirit guide, unlike some of the others, like that seem more human, the spirit guide looks like a mass of bodies. The bodies of the buried dead under the battlefields of World War One, who have their spirits have merged together into a single horrific mass, howling mass.
Ooh.
Awful. That's amazing. Um, all right. So this time, Sybil, you feel not just the ley lines, but the force that's corrupting them, the darkness that's pushing back as you try and seize control of this node. Um,
Mhm.
it feels familiar to you. You've seen it before. You've been with it before um, in your visions after the initiation, um,
Mhm.
but you still need to push further.
Yeah, and I think now Sybil, in response to what Owen just did, she loves jazz, but she was classically trained. And so she's playing Saint-Saëns, the Danse Macabre, which is about the dead coming to life and dancing a macabre dance. And her hair is falling loose from her bun, and she's getting into the passion of it as she pushes up against this resistance. So I'll spend one of my magic points for 2, and I'll spend one of my will points to make the +3. And so we have the +3.
Nice. But that, I mean, you're also, starting to feel pretty bad, right? Like your will is down to 2.
My
Um,
will's down to 2. Yeah, I'm pushing up my reserves. Yeah.
you're really on the verge of a bad time. But you can feel that it's close now as well. Um, you think maybe one more push is all that's needed.
That's
So
what they always say. Yeah.
you can spend your will into the negative.
Uh-huh.
But you can also just draw on your allies here. Where does that last reserve come from?
I've got 2 left. What does it mean to bring my will to 0? Would I collapse or something? Or
No, your
No.
will can drop into the negative.
uh-huh.
If your will is between 0 and -6, you're shaken. You can't spend points on investigative abilities. All general ability tests increased in difficulty by 1. But
Mhm.
it's not very unlikely you're going to need anything after this. So I guess it's just a role play question, really, what it's going to look like for you to be shaken in success.
Does it make sense for each of you to give me 1 and I give 1, but each of us gives donates 1?
Well, each of
Yeah,
us would have to like give 2 if we
Yes.
gave one from each of us.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's
I've got
It
6
doesn't
left,
really
so
matter a lot at this
we're doing
point.
we're doing
So
okay. I'll
I'll
go
give
next.
you I'll give you 2. That makes sense. That way I don't think anything bad is gonna happen, but I think both me and George will be at 4 instead of one of us being down to 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm down
uh,
to 1. Yeah.
All right.
and
And
I
all,
think
oh yeah, George.
oh, I was just say I think what this looks like on George's uh part is her eyes are closed, but I think the rest of you can see, just as you can see sort of Owen's monstrosity of a spirit guide. Um, uh, George's spirit guide also joins in the dance, and she is not willing to see who it is or what he looks like.
Yeah.
Looking the other way.
All right.
Hmm.
So I just want to check, we're nearly at time. Does anyone have a hard stop, or is it okay if we push another 10 minutes to just wrap things up here? Either is
I'm
fine.
fine pushing 10 minutes.
Fine by me.
I'm okay with 10. Yeah.
All right. Um, so all 3 of you feel the power of the ley lines flow through you for a moment as the ritual succeeds, and the 3 of you are tuned to the nexus. And as that happens, you can feel where the ley lines flow. You can feel, the 2 ley lines that meet here and where they go from here. And specifically, you can feel uh, the next nearest nodes where these ley lines meet other ley lines. So you have this brief moment of feeling those things. One line that runs roughly north-south with the nearest next nodes. One about 100 kilometers from the coast of England in the North Sea. And you have this strong sense that something warm and wonderful lies under the icy waters there. To the south, along the same line, George, I'm very sorry to say, the nearest node is at Cambridge, and you have a
Boo.
vision of a dragon sitting atop the university, eating the ley line energy as it passes through. And another line, so the one line ends in the woods right where you are and runs sort of southwest from there. And you can feel that the nearest node on that line is at Sutton Park in Birmingham, where you sense a troll guarding the ruins of an ancient well. I'll type all those up and put them in the chat so that they're available for everyone later on.
Great. Yeah.
Um, and with
You gonna
that, you
give
have attuned to the node, and I think that is where we'll wrap up the uh, story
Do
for
we
this week.
emerge from the dolmen and the fire is still burning? Are those creatures, do we all have to stay with the fire until dawn to and is that the last shot that we get staying at the fire?
I mean, I think that's right. The limbless ones are
Uh,
going to be there until daybreak, so
uh,
I think that
we
the
keep
3 of
feeding
you
the
wait by
fire.
the fire.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, and then we
so
have to take Lord Massinger back and to get some first aid.
we'll get some serious medical treatment, which may or may not help him very much.
And we as we're lying around the fire, we cut to Jack in bed with the Lord's wife, looking at the clock and going like, "What time is it?"
I feel like I should have been somewhere. Am I supposed to be somewhere?
Um, so you'll all gain 1 XP just for the session, and if you acted on one of your keys, you can mark it and take a second XP for that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to stop the recording here, and then we can do some stars and wishes.